Hello, my fellow hookers. It's Dr. Crochet with just another tutorial. Today I want to talk about patterns and how different patterns talk about different things. So, let's take a look here. Let's talk about patterns. Different patterns call for different stitches, and most patterns will have an abbreviation list of those stitches that they're using in that pattern. They'll also have pattern notes that tell you special instances that are going to happen in that pattern, like a front post or a back post crochet, or even that certain things that go on in that pattern will equal certain things, like a chain 2 does not count as a stitch, or a chain 2 does count as a stitch. Every pattern is different. Every designer has designed that pattern to work differently, and it's very important to read through every pattern before you attempt to do it. I learned that the hard way. I used to just jump right into a pattern, start working it, and see how it turned out. Then I sat down and started reading the patterns and realized, oh, I missed this. Oh, well, if I had known that to begin with, it would have made it easier. Well, if I had read the pattern through, I'd have known it and it would have been easier. You also have to be concerned with, in patterns, is the gauge. Gauge is very important, especially for clothing. You want to work your gauge to find out what hook you really actually need. A pattern may call for, say, a chain with a 10 millimeter, and then to work the pattern with a 9 millimeter, but then you do the gauge and you find out that you actually only need a 6. So then you would do your chain with a 7, seeing how it's one step up instead of a half. There are also other things to be concerned with in patterns, and that's why you need to read through them thoroughly, because sometimes they can change in the middle, and you're in the middle of doing a repeat and you realize, oh, it wasn't really actually repeating, it was giving me new instructions. But you were in automatic mode. So the important thing with patterns is to read them through thoroughly, make notes on them. I try to print all of mine, or I copy them down by hand in my Crochet and Stitches pattern book. And then I make notes as I go along on them. I'll even show you one. This is one I'm currently working on. And as you can see, I've highlighted special things. I've made notes here with the red. And also, well, it's not on this page, let me show you on the first page. You can see I've also made notes in green. And green means a different thing. That's just me. I'm kind of an organizational nutcase when it comes to being super organized. That comes from working in hospitals. We used different colors for all kinds of different things. So I've just devised my own plan that way, using different colored pens to mean different things and when I'm taking notes on patterns. You can do it any way you'd like. I've even had digital patterns where I've copied them into my iPad, and then I make notes on the pattern that way digitally, so that I can use, and I'll have the correct notes that fit the pattern for me, because you have to take the pattern and you have to make it for you. Yes, someone designed that pattern, and you could duplicate their work exactly, or you can make it your own. You may want to change something, like they may call for back loop only, and you don't want to do that in the pattern next time. I always work every pattern exactly like it says the first time around. And then after I've made my notes, I can go back and look at it and go, oh, well, I'd like to change this and take out back loop only because I don't care for it. I do like back loop only, but in certain patterns, I just don't think it's necessary. And then I'll take it out and do it my own way. Or it may say, let's take pocket shawls, for instance, because they're very popular right now. It may call for the pocket to be 30 inches wide. And you may think that that's just way too wide for a pocket. So you may only make it 15, which is half. That's taking the pattern down to making it your own. It's very important to realize that you have to make it your own. That's really all I've got to say about patterns right now. Happy hooking, smile, and as always, happy crocheting.